Hey, it's Ed here. On today's video for CTC, we're taking a look at technical analysis for Ethereum. On this video, again, we're going to be starting from the macro perspective and then diving into the smaller timeframes and seeing what kind of opportunities, if any, lies here locally. So overall, the idea that we've had has been an ABC coming down, and this has been a corrective structure. I have not thought of this as being a wave 4, nor this being a wave 4, just based on the extensions that we had for the C wave or third wave, again, one-to-one here. Same thing as we had on Bitcoin, where people expected this whole structure, or here, some people had this as a wave 4. I didn't. I still like the idea that this is a three-way that finished in here, these lows in June 2022. But regardless of what that is, in my opinion, again, a three-way fits the best. Let's take a look at what we have afterwards of that June 2022. The bear case nowadays seems like this. Either we have this as a WXY finished completely, or that we have not even finished the wave X. If that is the case, we would have a structure something like this, and wave X would be here, and then we would be getting that move here. So overall, we would be getting a W, X, and Y. That is yet another possibility. However, I kind of like this at the moment better. There is still some divergences here on daily. For example, this one that we got this move from, and also we had this daily divergences here that were quite strong. So keep in mind that although the high here seems very high at this point, I'm not quite sure if I like this divergence. That is something that definitely is not very common to see on a WXY, and is definitely not expected. Generally, you want to be seeing just a three-way structure like so here for that three-way structure in any case, at least for a WXY. But regardless of that, the overall idea is that we have a three-way structure, regardless of what and how you want to be labeling this. Yeah, everything is overlapping, so that's the bear case up to these highs here. We did not get to the one-to-one extension of this, which would be somewhere in here. However, we did take out the highs here, which is again the main idea for a WXY. Wasting time and getting beyond the wave W. Afterwards, again, we can talk about this structure, but let's take a look at the bull case first, which is something like this, which is a diagonal. Now, talking about this is, well, now that everything has played out, is way better to talk about it early on here, or even here. Now that we have a potential wave 4 pivot, we could be saying that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, this fifth wave needs to be built, and then we would be correcting this whole structure. And of course, there's only two different ways or areas or structures what this could be part of, either wave 1, where this would be a wave 1, or a wave A. So at this point, again, more conservative idea would be ABC. That would be getting us way higher on price. But again, that is not clarified and has not happened yet, this move to the upside at least. If we create a structure like this, three-way push pull back to the downside, which is clear, then I definitely want to be going for long setups here. That would be a very good looking structure. But we don't know of that yet, and the altcoin markets kind of seems weird at the moment. Some of them have broken their lows early on here, and for the more recent breakdown here, they have taken out the lows, and some have not. ETH has been doing this very corrective structure from the June 2022 lows for quite a long time now. And again, as mentioned already, everything is very overlapping, so we can't really be too bullish, at least yet. If this turns into being a wave 3 for some reason, then we accept that, but that is not something that we expect. ABC here would fit way better, at least to my expectations. But again, that would be probably taking up the whole next year, as the correction came down into probably early 2024, and then the move up into the late 2024. But yeah, that is macro ideas. We don't need to be thinking about this too much because again, we don't trade these high time frame trades. At least I don't. But just some food for thought, at least. Now, regardless of higher time frame count, let's take a look at the structure from these highs here, around 2140s. The idea currently that I have the best at this point is something like this, where we have an ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here on C. Inside wave B, we have a running triangle, where this would be an A, B, C, D, E. Not the best structure at all. RSI does not really agree with it, but this is the only way we could be labeling this. That fits decently well overall, and I kind of like it, like so. So that's that. Nothing else to talk about. There was a possibility to go long here. It was not the easiest long. We did only take the 0.5, but again, there was a possibility for that. 3 wave here, and then we mooned. At this point, I'm not still quite sure how I want to be labeling this. So let's take a look at what we have here. There's two different ways of labeling this, either as an ABC here, as this whole thing did extend to the 1.618, as you see here. There is also a chance that this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did take out the high here, which has the potential of being the 5th wave. However, it is very small in comparison to this first one, where we generally would target this as the 5th wave, or even to the 1.618. So again, we did not even hit the 0.618. So again, it is kind of iffy to say that, okay, this would be the 5th wave overall. So currently, at this point, a WXY fits decently. The wave X retraced to the 38.2 here. And yeah, it fits decently well. The middle structure is very overlapping of a mess. We can see that we are in some kind of channel here on RSI as well, until the lows here where we started to create some kind of pivot. You can be creating this into multiple different ways of labelings. I've just labeled it as a WXY for now. Does not really matter again, because again, the pivots are this one and this one, in my opinion. Of course, we could be saying here and here as well, but this is the end of that structure. Now, smaller time frame, what do we have here? After this X was put in place, there's not really good of a structure again. Very typical for ETH at this point. The only way I could be making this into a bullish structure is some kind of an 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th wave taking out this high here and then plummeting. And then we would be creating another 5-way structure that would be partner to this one. Of course, the look here is horrible if we compare it separately. But there's nothing else I can really manage to create out of this. Bullishly, we would have this as a potential wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if we want to be creating some kind of diagonal. If the idea was still that this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at that point again this would be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overall. If not, then this could be just a ABC into a potential wave A, looking for wave B and then C. Or this again could be the wave A if this whole thing becomes a diagonal. I kind of like the idea that this is a diagonal based on time here, as we did take out the 1-to-1. If we were to move these over here, this would be closer to the 0.618, which again fits into the idea that this would be a 1-2. But again, that does not really fit into the higher time frames, at least the ones that I have. Of course, you can be bullish and you probably have a clear invalidation now, which is this, until, or if you think that this is a wave 1 of that diagonal, then you have this as invalidation. Otherwise, of course, the invalidation is down here for the whole idea of this being a 1-2. But at this point, I'm not going to be looking into trades on ETH. Bitcoin has way better trades at this point, and we've been posting those on the Discord as well. So if you're interested in those, check that out. Nothing really is fitting too well at this point. I think we are still in this kind of mess here, and if we come down a bit lower, then might be able to look for long setups. However, I feel like I want to let this play out. If it is going to be creating a wave 3 here first, wave 4, and then wave 5, then we could be talking about that diagonal possibility first, and then again wait and wait for that pullback for that wave B or that wave 2, and then look for that last leg up. And that would be what we would be targeting mainly, because again, generally when we have very overlapping structures like we have here, they're not very confident trades, especially if we are targeting something like a diagonal. When we have overlapping structures, it generally is more likely to be a corrective wave structure, so there is no defining factor that this X wave is even in. We could have this as 3 wave here, some kind of 3 wave here, and yet another 3 waves here, and then we would be pushing the wave X here. Since we don't have really impulsive looking characteristics anymore, since we only created a 3-way structure here, that is still a possibility. At this point, of course, if you were to long or were going to be longing this based on this diagonal, you should have already taken profits here, because again, the idea of having this as a potential ABC. At this point, there's no trades, for me at least, on ETH until more structures are built. I hope that is clear, and I think that is pretty much everything I want to share on ETH for today. Again, if you made it this far into the video, we definitely would appreciate the likes and the comments on these videos, because that is going to be helping us out spread the word of CTC. But for now, again, I thank you for watching, and check out the Discord if you're interested in that. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.